So, linking in with them popular sports in the UK, let's have a look at what happens with age in these, alright? Now, there are different types of groups. First group is age. There's quite a lot on this page about age, but what I'm going to look at is linking it in. Sports such as soccer, football we know it as, cue sports, running and cycling, they're popular with younger ages. Participation in these sports tend to decrease with age, okay? As people get older, they're less likely to do your sports like your football and your rugby and things like that. Next one, golf was on there as a specific participation rate for age. Participants level across ages up to about 69. That's when participation starts to decrease. So all the way up to 69-year-old, then it starts leveling out, then it decreases after that age. Okay. Swimming, keep fit, and yoga, some of the popular sports here. Participation is level up to 44, then it starts decreasing in them sports. Whereas things like bowls, someone's saying to you, what activities can older people be in, or why does bowls have older people taking part in it? Participation peaks at 60 to 69, then starts to decrease. So that's one of the, bowls is the one where people can play all the way up. It's not 10-pin bowling, it's crown green bowling. Less physical, quite a social game, as you find out later on anyway, that we look at. So the next things then, we look at participation rates by group of people. Again, Sports England and UK Sport go out into the UK, carrying out surveys, promoting things to get certain groups of people involved in sport. First thing that we look at is ethnicity, okay? The percentages, again, for me, you don't need to remember the percentages. What you do need to know, obviously they're in key booklet, but what you need to know is which one's more popular than the other one. So, for example, black and minority ethnic groups actually participate more than white British people in Britain. Now, when we looked into that, it's because they've linked all them groups of people together. Generally, certain groups, ethnic groups on their own, would participate less. But for this GCSE, the resource book that we were given by OCR and HODA, it stated that they were collectively, as a group, more likely to participate than white British people. The next one, participation rates by disability. As you can see, this is massive, this one. And as a country, we're looking at actually building this up. And I think we're doing quite well at it, really. But there are non-disabled people, so someone without a disability, are a lot more likely to take part in sport than people who are disabled. Now, this has gone up in years gone by, and it will continue to go up as you see things like the Paralympics happening. Basically, they're creating more and more access now for disabled people to get involved in sport. I think it's really inspiring to see. Yes, it can be improved. The GCSE might ask you about your opinions on that. My opinion is, yeah, it can be improved, but we're going in the right direction. I think a lot of countries are doing the same as well. But currently, more non-disabled people take part, and I'd argue it's because there's a lot more access for people who are non-disabled as opposed to people who are disabled, but that is improving. Next one, participation rates by gender. This is another key one if you do sports development at university or college. Looking at why do males participate more than females, basically. Now, there's a lot of argument around, obviously, at certain age groups, females start to drop off, males decide to carry on because of social aspects, things like that. But basically, all you need to know is that males participate a lot more than females, and the males, it shows you on the competition side, prefer competition as opposed to females. Only 14% when UK Sport England did their surveys preferred to do competition. Okay. Last one, participation rates by socio-economic groups. Don't be put off by that. The others you could probably guess: gender, ethnicity, disability. Socio-economic basically means your money, your wealth. It's all to do with that, the economy, okay? So, as it says, higher socio-class people, so rich people, will participate more than lower socio-class people. A lot of arguments to and for that, but on the whole, higher class people have more access, they've got more money to use, they can go on a wider range of sports and activities, they have more to choose from, as opposed to lower socio-class people who might just be stuck with a few sports in their local area and things like that. Okay? Last bit we look at then in this is things that can affect participation. So CHAMPS we use the acronym for. So basically anything that could prevent or increase participation of people. Culture being the first one. So someone's ethnicity, their religion, their age, their gender, can all affect them taking part in sport, okay? If they're old, they might be too old to take part. They might be too young. For example, someone under 18 can't take part in a marathon. Religion, as we saw, Ali Al-Habsi, the football goalkeeper, couldn't take part for Wigan Athletic because he was in Ramadan and his body wouldn't have allowed him to do it, okay? Gender as well, there might be male or female only classes that can only be attended. Health is the H in champs. Now that could be literally someone's disabled, so they lack confidence maybe, or they can't get there because the access, the facility doesn't suit them. That could stop them taking part. Illness, short-term, so if you've got a cold, a flu, you don't fancy going out doing a run or a training session, you'll have the night off, okay? So sometimes illness can prevent people taking part in sport. Obesity, now we had a good debate about this one. Can increase participation, can reduce it. If someone's obese and overweight, they'll struggle to take part in sport. However, you could argue that someone who's obese might actually want to start taking part in sport because they realise it'll help reduce their weight and things like that, okay? So a double-edged one there. A in CHAMP stands for availability. Is it there? Okay. 15 years ago now, I couldn't have gone skiing when I was at school because there wasn't a facility available for me. I could have gone abroad, but in Manchester there wasn't the chill factor, which there is now. So there's availability there. That comes under resources. Time. Well, you know, when you're in school, you can't go and attend a certain club. Now, if there was a specific club on at 12 o'clock dinner time on a Thursday, people who are in school can't attend that, okay? Whereas if it was like 5 o'clock at night, you've more chance to. So time's a massive one. Work can also stop people taking part in it. Environment and climate. We use Jamaica for this one. Think about the bobsleigh team. You know, never had a bobsleigh team in Jamaica and because of the climate, it stopped them having it. They had no snow. It's like us in Britain. We've had to send our winter Olympic athletes out to all the countries to actually train. They can do a bit in England, but they get better facilities abroad. So not a lot of people take part in sports like that because of the climate affecting it. Things like football as well, a lot of you guys said about the games being rained off. Yep, they can be rained off and things along them lines. So that can affect participation. Media. Media can affect participation. TV, newspapers. If you see it out there, you're going to want to do it, okay? Tennis, great example. Go to the tennis courts today, we're currently in April. No one on it, it's raining. There's no one out there. Yet, a couple of weeks when Wimbledon's on, you will see a lot of people out there playing tennis. Wimbledon goes off, stop it again. Okay, the TV has a massive influence on it. Some people want to replicate the sport styles that they see. People, massive on this one, comes under family, peers and role models. You know, my parents got me involved playing rugby when I was 4 years old. If it weren't for them, 4 or 5 years old. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have taken part in rugby, okay? They might have taken me to a football club, I'd have been a football player. Your parents have a massive influence on you at that young age. Also, you might want to try and impress them. You might want to try and be like them. But yeah, massive influence. Peers, your friends, and a lot of people who stop taking part in sport because their friends stop doing it. Or they start taking part in a certain sport because all the friends are there, they want to do it. Okay, peers can have a massive influence. Role models as well. You know, you see someone who you really look up to, you're your role model, you want to take part in that sport because they're doing it. Few people have won gold in the Olympics because of seeing things like that. Few people have got involved in certain sports because of their role models. Finally, socio-economic, the cost of it, okay? I won't take part in F1 because I can't really afford to go and buy the go-karts and go through all that stuff you need. You need a lot of money there. And that's why not a lot of people do it. You look at the career of Lewis Hamilton or something like that, he's had to have a lot of funding to get there. Likewise, it might be things like golf. It might be perceived as being more of a rich person's sport, and it's harder for someone to get involved with when you look at the higher levels of golf, okay? It is becoming more accessible now though, but again, you could look at things like polo and, you know, and the horses and things like that. It's just a class difference, okay?